In anticipation of the upcoming Fantastic Four First Steps movie, I watched Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer from 2007, because that movie has Galactus and a Silver Surfer, much like the upcoming film. I saw this movie once in the theater back in 2007 and I barely remember anything about it, so I watched it with fresh eyes and I definitely have opinions, so please stick around as I break down the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. The 2007 sequel Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer teased a bigger setup by bringing in the mysterious Silver Surfer and the world-ending threat of Galactus. Plus, it had better visual effects. It just seemed to have a bigger scope and scale. So did it deliver? Well, kinda. The best I can say about the movie is that it is shockingly mediocre. It is a glass of lukewarm water, it is dry, unbuttered toast, it's serviceable, but it's lacking any real depth. What I like about the movie is that the four main characters are prevalent in the film and they each have something to do. The narcissism of Johnny Storm seems to have been toned down somewhat. He's still completely unhinged. He's excited about deals where company logos are plastered on the Fantastic Four uniform, and he's still a bit of a hothead, but he seems to have matured at least slightly, which is a giant step up from the previous film where I just wanted the guy to get strangled to death. In this movie, they are worldwide celebrities. There's a big to-do about the wedding between Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm. Of course, the wedding goes off the rails when comic book movie things start happening around them, which interferes with everything, which is an interesting sequence, but fairly predictable. The whole movie is fairly predictable, but as soon as you hear that they're going to have a wedding, you know things are going to get messed up. Before you even start watching the movie, you know that there's going to be a messed up wedding in the beginning, but they'll actually get married at the end, and that's exactly what happens. The thing this movie really has going for it is Silver Surfer. Now, I have to admit, I'm not really a Marvel Comics guy, I'm definitely in the DC camp, but I am aware of Silver Surfer's existence. Now, I came to know about Silver Surfer probably much differently than most other people. I learned about Silver Surfer from the movie Crimson Tide, which is a submarine war thriller. In the movie Crimson Tide, Gene Hackman is the captain of a submarine, Denzel Washington is a loyal first officer. When they get orders to launch their nuclear weapons, they're about to do so, but another message comes in that's incomplete. And the drama of the movie is, should they launch the nuclear weapons or not? One scene in the movie, because the crew is under stress, a fight breaks out. When Denzel Washington insists that the character explains why they were fighting, he talks about somebody arguing with him over Silver Surfer and whether or not the Kirby Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer. And when I watched the movie, I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about.
I said that the Kirby Silver Surfer was the only real Silver Surfer, and that the Mobius Silver Surfer was shit.
The term Silver Surfer was ridiculous enough that it stuck with me, and when this movie came out, Rise of the Silver Surfer, I'm like, hey, that's the thing from Crimson Tide.
Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer. Now, am I right or wrong?
When this movie came out, I was genuinely excited to see the Silver Surfer, and I was mostly disappointed, and rewatching it now, I remember why I was disappointed. The Silver Surfer gets almost nothing to do in this movie. He shows up, and some climate things happen, the sea freezes over, there's snow in Egypt, and all that stuff, but really, he doesn't get much to do. He announces the coming of Galactus, and really just doesn't do anything other than get captured, which is ridiculous. He gets captured way too easily. The US military holds him hostage and he can't get out. It seems like if he has these massive powers, he shouldn't have been captured so easily and he shouldn't have been able to be held so easily. And they got the surfboard away from him way too easy. It just doesn't make him seem all that interesting, despite being voiced by the fantastic Lawrence Fishburne. Well, in any event, he eventually gets out and Sue Storm pleads with him to not have Galactus eat planet Earth. And because he, I guess, reminds him of his girl back on his home planet, he decides to fight Galactus after all, which seems way too easy, way too contrived. It robs the Silver Surfer of an actual story arc. He barely has a character, and that's really unfortunate. At the end of the movie, he decides to sacrifice himself by surfing into Galactus's belly or whatever, and I guess blows himself up or something, which destroys the threat just as it's about to eat the Earth. But nothing feels earned, and it's also a letdown that the Fantastic Four didn't really get a lot to do in the climax of the movie. Silver Surfer just kind of blows himself up, and that's that, and then the Fantastic Four are like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, Galactus won't eat us, I guess. But it's really a letdown because they're not the ones that really did it. We get Victor Von Doom coming back in this movie, the antagonist from the previous film, but that seems unearned as well, and his motivations don't really make any sense. They never really explain what he's up to. He just does villainy things because he's the villain. He steals the Silver Surfer's surfboard. I guess anybody can ride it, I guess. You don't have to be a Silver Surfer. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. They never explain it, and I really don't care. But if Galactus was going to eat the Earth, you'd think that even Victor Von Doom, a bad guy, would still want a world to exist in. It doesn't make any sense that he'd be f***ing with stopping Galactus. You'd think he'd want there to not be Galactus eating Earth just as much as anybody else, but whatever. There's some humor in the movie. It's not all that bad. I like the characters a lot more than I did in the original film, and that's what makes this movie not suck. It's mediocre, it's not great, but the characters seem a lot better than the previous movie, which is why I'm giving it a mediocre rather than a poor ranking. Tell you what though, after seeing the Silver Surfer and Galactus in this movie, I'm ready for the Fantastic Four first steps. I want to see a real Galactus that's more than just a cloud monster thing. I want to see a Silver Surfer with some actual character and depth. Now I understand this isn't the Silver Surfer that Kirby created, this is a female version from an alternate reality, and I was wondering if some people were going to complain about the gender swap there, but I spoke to a friend of mine who's a Marvel fan. He explained to me that the female Silver Surfer in this movie is from a parallel reality version of the Fantastic Four, not the main continuity, and this Fantastic Four movie is also in a parallel universe, not the main MCU. So there's a little bit of wiggle room there, and apparently this female Silver Surfer is comic book accurate from that series of comics, so I guess that's okay, but I'm not really a huge Marvel fan, so it doesn't make that much difference to me. But if they present the character as somebody interesting, I'll be there for it. And I'm excited by the trailer. I herald your end. I mean, it just sounds cool. It looks like an interesting movie. We'll see if it delivers on July 25th. I'll be doing a review of that movie when it comes out. If you want that content, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss that review when I post it. I'm genuinely excited for that. I haven't been excited for a Marvel movie in a while. I was excited for Deadpool and Wolverine, I guess, but Marvel's kind of lost its shine for me, so we'll see if this brings me back into it. I am genuinely excited to watch this, more excited than I've been for a Marvel thing in a really long time. What is your opinion of the two Tim Story-directed Fantastic Four movies? Thanks for stopping by my channel. Eric Wilford Watson signing out.